Hello everybody, my name is Rainy Angel and welcome to my channel, Rainy Angel in Spirit. Here on this channel, I like to talk about my spiritual awakening, my spiritual journey, really esoteric spiritual things. I also practice the AYDA Method, which I learned from Darius J. Wright to have my controlled out-of-body experiences. So today, that is what I'm going to be talking about with you guys. This video specifically is about me connecting with what I think to be one of my spirit guides. What I know is that it is an angel. It's a seraphim. I'm honestly not sure if he has a gender. I just say he because that's the vibe I'm getting. He wears like an all black hooded robe and he has black wings. I've seen his eyes before. They're these little glowing eyes, and he's just really beautiful and has this really loving, nurturing, intimate energy. And every time I see him outside of my body, I just feel really good. I feel really at peace. Now, this last experience with him happened back in December or January, I can't remember. It was the longest time that I've spent with him, and the most in-depth, detailed experience I've had. And it probably lasted for about 5 minutes. Usually when I connect with my spirit guides or the angels, I meditate on it all day, from the moment I wake up to the moment I'm ready to do the method at night. This one I think was more spontaneous. It was 11:30 at night that I laid down to do the method, but I was intending on coming out of my body and seeing the angel. And at this time, I was in a very depressive state. There was some things going on in my life that I was having some realizations about myself. I kind of went through a hard time in a hard situation, and I just felt kind of lost and helpless and depressed. And I just remember laying down to do this method, and I stayed aware as my body fell asleep. This time I was getting more information. I was accessing more information because it was I'm not going to say it was effortless doing this, but it was way easier than the other times while practicing this method. And I have reached a milestone. I'm just very proud of myself for doing this. I was reaching out mentally to my angel, to the seraphim. I was like, just help me, I don't know what to do. I feel so lonely and scared, and I just don't know what to do. So I then in that moment just kind of let go of what was bothering me, and I just allowed the angel to come into my space. I was just you know what, just tell me what you need to tell me, or show me, or allow me to feel something better than what I'm feeling right now. Before I came out of my body, I started having visions in my mind, because sometimes this happens for me when I do the AYDA method for a long time. I start to see visions, and I saw a library, in a mansion though, like a dark academia sort of mansion. It was this beautiful room in a mansion, and it was this big library. And I just remember it had the really pretty patterned, Indian sort of patterned rugs on the ground, or it was pink and purple and blue. And there was this beautiful skylight at the very top of the ceiling, and the sunlight was coming through, and you could just see the beam of light shining on the ground, and the light coming through, and it was so beautiful. To the left side there was this giant bookshelf, almost to the ceiling, of just books on books on books. And to the right, I can't really remember, it could have been a fireplace is what I imagined. Oh, if you hear guitar, that's my neighbor. He's really good at guitar. He can play Jimi Hendrix stuff, and he's very talented. I love hearing him play. So I'm looking at this, and I just got a couple seconds, a really quick vision of it, and I was like, whoa, that's so beautiful, and I want to access more of that. So I focused more on that vision. And I started to see other things. I started to see a hallway leading somewhere else, another room connected to that. I was using my imagination. It could have been my own dimensional space, or it could have been an actual place. Either way, I was intending on accessing some sort of record of mine and connecting with my angel. Shortly after that, I heard my angel calling my name. And whenever my angel calls my name, it's in my voice. And one of my friends was telling me, she's very into the spiritual stuff, and she was saying this has also happened to her, where she'll hear, whenever her angels or God, speaks to her, she hears it in her voice and in her sort of way of speaking. And what I heard was like a whispering, my own voice whispering to me, Rainy, Rainy. I heard it like 2 or 3 times. And I opened my eyes. I disrupted the method. I opened my eyes and took off my sleep mask and I was looking around. I was like, am I really hearing like what I'm hearing right now? My name being called so audibly, like it wasn't just like a thought, it was an audible voice. And so I was like, you know what, let me go back into the method. I was kind of scared at first, I'm not gonna lie. It startled me because I'm not used to that, and my heart was beating, and I was like, man, but let me just calm down. So I put my sleep mask back on, closed my eyes, and I started to think about the thing and the situation I was in that started to get me depressed again and angry and confused. And as soon as I started thinking that, I heard my voice say stop, like stop. So I stopped, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop, because I know that this is the seraphim, the angel that I'm reaching out to. He's telling me to stop because this is irrelevant. This is something I shouldn't be thinking about because this is making me sad. They do that. They encourage you to just be as happy and at peace as you possibly can here. I was laying on my back and I decided to roll over on my side because I got a little uncomfortable. And I rolled over on my side to go to sleep, and I knew that once I did that, I would get into even more comfortable state, go into sleep paralysis much easier. And as soon as I did that, sure enough, like I kind of dozed off a little bit, but I woke up in sleep paralysis and I couldn't move. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. Like, this is it. Like, I want to be able to exit my body through sleep paralysis. This will be the first time I've ever done this. I normally, like when I've come out of my body before, I just come out as I'm falling asleep. My soul just has this like little window of just slipping out right as I fall asleep. But this time I exited through sleep paralysis, and I will tell you how it feels. So if you know what sleep paralysis is, you know you can't move, you can't breathe. And if you don't know, that's how it feels. So, but when you stay consciously aware during that whole sleep paralysis period, it intensifies to the point where you are just completely frozen. But at that point where you're frozen and you suddenly don't have the feeling to breathe anymore. You don't need to breathe. You just exist. You don't even think about breathing. Your soul doesn't need to breathe, and it doesn't need to like stress out about those things, because that's a human, earthly, realm 1 thing. As soon as like my body was just completely frozen, like just done, I saw these black feathers curl around my neck, like around my ear and like my eyes and my neck like this, and it just kind of like grazed me like that. And I was like, oh my God, like I wasn't sure what it was. And so I turned around, like my soul exited. I just like kind of like did this little U-turn around out of my body, and it was the angel waiting for me. And he's just hovering above the bed, and we're just kind of looking at each other, like staring at each other. Except this time, he was a miniature size. Because I'll be honest with you, at the time I was scared of his actual size, because I think he's the size of a really tall man, if not bigger. Like, because, things on the other side are a bit more, they're different than here. They're things that you're not really used to. And then he starts to just kind of like fly around the room a little bit, and I'm just watching him and I'm following him around, because I also can fly, because when you're in your soul, you can do whatever you want. You're infinite. So I'm flying around my room with him, just like following him and getting used to his energy. I went to touch him because, I don't know, for a second I just thought he was really cute. Like he was this like little miniature angel. So I went to like touch him and like grab him. And then I realized that he may have boundaries. So I kind of backed down and I got scared, and I like jumped behind my bed, the side of my bed, and was like hiding. And then I like kind of peeked out from that, and I was looking, and I lost him. I couldn't find him. And then I got this like tingling like sense from my right side, like up, and I looked, and he was right there, like in the corner of my room. There's a couple times where we kind of like came together. Yeah, we like would meet each other like this, like get close and then far away, just kind of getting used to like the energy. I wanted to get used to him and not be scared, because I was scared at first and now I'm not. So we were just like bonding. We were bonding. I didn't get any like words from him or anything. I didn't hear a voice. I didn't really get any telepathic messages. It was just very quiet. It was silent. The vibe of him was very loving intimate and nurturing. Like, he really cared about what I was going through, and I was just very curious of him and very in more of a loving, peaceful state. And yeah, it was just a really, really cool experience. And then right after that, I woke up, and anytime that I need to connect or ask questions or want to know something, I could just mentally reach out to him. And anybody can do this, literally anybody. If you want to connect with your angels, all you have to do is just think about it. Like, ask a question like, hey, I want to know this about myself. But thank you guys for watching. Bye.